Hello, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube. My name is Mr. Maxwell, and welcome back to another side quest about video games with myself and Exilemagpie.
Hello.
We've had a couple of weeks off again.
Yeah.
Just due to life. Life at the end of the year sucks. Well,
Yes.
it doesn't suck. It's hectic.
It's hectic, busy,
It's hectic.
and for anyone who is working in minimum wage jobs involving dealing with customers, yeah,
People.
it's
Just people. In
See,
general.
my job, it's the opposite. The build up to summer, and summer is just complete utter chaos.
Yeah.
And then it trails
See,
off.
mine's the other way. Summer, we're dead. Like nothing happens.
Yeah.
There's nothing to do, and you're spending like 6 hours trying to find something to do to pass the time. Otherwise, it takes like an hour seems to take an eternity, and you just want to kill yourself by the end of it. But winter, we get to the end of the year, and it's just non-stop, and you want to die, and you want to die for a completely different reason.
Yeah, due to the fact that you feel like your body's just deciding to give up.
Yeah, pretty much. But anyway, we're here to talk about games.
Yes.
And the things that have happened around the gaming
Industry.
world. So, this was really weird because obviously we've been off for a bit and things have actually happened this time. Unlike
Yes.
the last one where we were off for a bit and still nothing had happened, but we kind of needed to add a video.
Yes.
So, this one's not too bad. The question is where the fuck do we start?
Let's go with the one that's not terrible. And is potentially good news, but...
Yeah, you know what? Halo developer 343 Industries rebrands and confirms multiple new games. So, for anybody who doesn't know, 343 has been the company that has been making the Halo games since Bungie stopped.
Which was after Halo 3.
Which was after Halo
I
3.
think. It's either Halo 3 or Reach.
And,
Yeah, I mean, it might have been Reach, actually. Anyway.
They obviously not the best job in the world, but some of the games they've been hit and miss.
Well, here's the thing, right? You should have really seen the signs when the studio is named 343.
Yeah.
343 is the antagonist of the first Halo game and the third Halo game. The little bald dude. He's can't remember exactly what the name is, but it's something 343.
Yeah. Right.
He's trying to power up the Halo device to blow the entire all life away from, so that the Flood can't do anything and the Flood starves, basically. Yeah.
Right. So, basically, in a bit of a move, shall we say, they're going to rebrand. They are going to be called Halo Studios, which kind of fits considering all they seem to make Halo.
Kind of makes sense.
Which is good.
I mean, considering...
this is going to sound a bit weird. There we go.
Sorry, everyone.
Right. Yeah, they're going to be renaming into Halo Studios. They've announced that they are going to be developing in the Unreal Engine 5, which, about time.
Yeah, because... I mean, it's not going to solve all the problems that Halo has, especially like a Halo Infinite. There's a lot of decision making.
Well, yeah,
issues.
I think the thing here is that I think a lot of companies have seen that. Number one, making an engine is not easy.
Using an engine is not easy, especially as it gets older. It becomes
well, that's my point.
Trying to deal with spaghetti code.
What I'm saying is that like one, making an engine is not easy and not cost effective. If you think about it. Two, to maintain that engine and to keep sprucing it up costs money and all that sort of stuff. EA, is a prime example of this. The amount of money they could have saved if they just, ditched
the Frostbite
engine. Or just like, actually did work with it. But anyway, moving on. So I think a lot of companies are moving to Unreal Engine 5 and, well, I was going to say Unity, but that's not happening
Unity's
anymore.
shooting itself in its face.
So things like Unreal Engine 5, a lot of companies are moving to that because I think it's going to be cheaper for them.
Two, also, if you get new staff that are from another company that have already worked on Unreal, you don't need to train them up on that engine.
It does seem that everybody is using Unreal 5. At least that way at the moment.
It does seem to be a very good, robust game engine.
This is what I mean. Is it's like it seems to have gotten to the point that now, like a game using Unreal Engine 5, it seems to be a selling point. Like the amount of games that come on and are using the Unreal 5 engine.
I think it's because it's Epic, isn't it, that does the Unreal Engine.
Yeah.
Epic are very good at selling the Unreal Engine at like what is the potential of this game engine. Like they know how to make it look like the most amazing thing. Like the tech demo they showed.
Yeah, well that's the thing you've got to remember is Epic started out as a game engine thing. That's what they did. I mean, Unreal Tournament was literally
technically it still is their bread and butter.
Yeah, because Unreal Tournament was the tester.
Yeah,
not the tester. They basically show it off.
Tech demo.
Yeah, it was basically to show it off to other, and it became a game. But anyway, so Halo is going to be moving to the Unreal Engine 5 for the next lot of games that are coming. They have announced, I'm pretty sure they announced that they were going to remake, did you say Halo 1?
Yeah, the first Halo.
The first Halo?
The CE. So, you know when they re-released upscaled graphically version of Halo? They're going to remake that.
Well, yeah, but that was a remaster, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was a remaster. This is going to be, from the sounds of it, a full-blown remake.
Yeah.
Which, as a, yes, I know they had the CE version, but, Halo originally came out on the first Xbox. I think it's old enough that it kind of does deserve
it deserves a bit of fanfare as well.
Yeah, it deserves. Definitely, because like the game, first-person shooters, like sci-fi first-person shooters would not be the way they are now if we hadn't had Halo.
If Halo wasn't a thing.
Yeah, if Halo wasn't a thing.
That's very true.
With the whole like open, expansive environments that they introduced, which before Halo weren't a thing. Like first-person shooters were basically a bunch of corridors and rooms.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you knock his sword off?
I knocked his sword off.
God damn it! Just pop it down. It's alright.
Darn it.
Oh, sorry. Project Foundry includes a slice of Halo's classic Pacific Northwest setting, stuffed full of trees and details, and the first look at Master Chief himself battling a pair of Covenant elites. Other areas that have been modelled include the Coldlands, a new and frozen location, and the Brightlands, a gooey, disturbing setting that has been taken over by Halo's flood. Halo Studios' wholesale move to Unreal Engine is not unexpected, as back in February 2023 it was reported that the then 343 Industries was ditching slip space for Epic's game tools after Halo Infinite did not meet expectations, staff layoffs, and following similar switches by CD Projekt Red for the next Witcher game and Crystal Dynamics for Tomb Raider. Like we said, everybody's switching to Unreal Engine at the moment.
Because along with this change of rebranding and all that, and change of leadership, they released a video for not behind the scenes, but interviews with various members of staff and that. And they talked about the fact that it was hard, they knew it was probably almost impossible to keep the change to Unreal 5 a secret.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, nope.
Yeah.
That was never going to be kept secret. That was going to be impossible. But yeah, they have new leadership.
Yeah, they've restructured the management.
The talk coming out of the studio is more along the lines of, we want people who are passionate about Halo to make a Halo game, because if you remember when Infinite and previous for 343 were coming out, there was a lot of we want to make Halo for a broad audience, or we're not really fussed if you've not played the previous games and all that sort of stuff. And it's you've got a massive fan base. The fan base is very, very, very vocal and loyal.
Yeah. This is the thing that
Like we've shot on Halo before.
Oh yeah, but no, what I'm saying is that like it's nice to see that they're actually talking to the fans and not trying to do this all over encompassing,
or just
or just poo-pooing things and stuff like that.
The legacy of this franchise that they have. It's very nice to see, but like you never hear any bad things coming from a Halo convention as well. No. Like from what I've seen and what I've heard, it seems to be like the Halo community as a whole. It's very like open and just wants to share how much they love the series, the franchise, the setting, and it's nice when you have that sort of fan base. It's really, really, really cool. It's nice. It feels nice that the studio seems to be talking to them and not to just shareholder XYZ and random dude that has never played their games and probably won't no matter what.
Yeah. Well, they'll write a 12-page fucking twit longer about how it's racist or it's
exactly.
sexist or something like that.
Despite never playing or watching or seeing the game.
Yeah.
It's nice that they're talking to the actual family. You know, the people who made Halo as big as it is. To and not following the footsteps of the TV series.
I like this because number one, we are now actually starting to see a trend of companies going that way. We've had, to be fair, the Chinese companies have been doing it for a little bit now since they've started reaching more.
Yeah,
the Chinese have started doing it.
The thing with the Chinese companies is they only care about one group and one group.
Oh, I know that, but no. What I'm saying is that when they are talking, they're talking to fans of the games.
Yes,
they're not talking to some random Joe who's never played a game, never played any of their games before.
They're not doing the Hollywood. We want to make it as broad as possible, so for as many people as possible. And to which my response is, that's fine. You can do that. It is possible, but you have to be true to the source material because the very first people that are going to watch your movie, Borderlands, are the fans of Borderlands.
So we are starting, well, maybe not EA, but EA's doing that. We're planting out a fucking flag in this
EA, Activision Blizzard, a few others, Ubisoft.
Yeah, Ubisoft. Yeah, we'll be talking about Ubisoft soon. But we are starting to see a trend with at least maybe not the AAAs, but your middle ground ones,
the AA
who are
companies.
Clearly people who are very passionate about the project that they're working on. They also realise the audience that they're going to be dedicating this to or asking to buy this product.
Yeah.
And they're not poo-pooing them or anything like that.
Yeah,
if anybody has any
as long as it's,
questions, they're willing to answer, and even if it's criticisms
they're willing to take an actual
as long as the criticisms aren't ridiculous, like things being too woke or like whatever, like I don't care about that shit.
If it's generally a criticism like I don't like character A because of their attitude is X, Y, and Z, or this mechanic seems to be a bit bad.
They're realising that fans aren't like this sort of like dumbass who just sits in the corner and just watches whatever you put in front of them.
No, that's called ultimate team plays.
Right, we're seeing this turning point of like at least, like I said, the AA. I mean, you just generally have to look at Space Marine. That game is not for anybody who doesn't like Warhammer.
No, and yet,
if you don't like Warhammer, you can still
enjoy it. It's basically, it's got the stuff right that the fan base, the Warhammer fan base, would call out on. It doesn't sugarcoat anything. It doesn't. It's like, no, everyone is in the military. Why? Because everyone is in the military. It doesn't matter what you fucking. Doesn't matter your size, shape, sex, gender.
What your actual job is.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what your job is. You've been now called up to the Emperor's Astronomum Militarum, and here's a las rifle. Go kill that giant Tyranid over there. Good luck. And don't worry, if you die, there's another 10,000 of you behind you. That's how important you are. You're not.
But yeah, it's nice that at least what looks like Microsoft is noticing this.
Well,
now maybe this might be because at least
343
but it's nice to see that maybe possibly Microsoft have noticed this and have decided that that's the way we're gonna have to go, and that sort of thing. Because look, Sony will sort of follow through. We know they will. It's Sony. It doesn't matter if Microsoft do it first or Sony does it first. One or the other, they will eventually follow the suit because they will realise the shit that they've been doing at the moment.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm talking about Concord, I'm talking about Redfall,
yeah.
I'm talking about what's the other PlayStation bomb that came out? Babylon's Fall.
Yeah.
I'm talking about all that live service bollocks.
Yeah. Sony will eventually realise that that's not the way to go.
Yeah. The companies will realise that, oh shit, we're actually losing more money than we're making. And we'll talk about Concord soon as well because there's more news about that. But moving on, what should we go for next? You know what?
I think we need to finish with 343 first. Well, Halo Studios.
Okay, Halo Studios.
The noises coming out of them is good. However, there is a caveat. This is, even though there has been a change of leadership, even though there has been a change of structure and a change of what seems to be a change of philosophy, it is all the stuff they want us to hear.
Also, when Halo Infinite was announced, that had a lot of like good news and all that. To be fair,
until we see actual gameplay,
until you can see a product, I wouldn't.
But I'm not gonna take something that seems to be encouraging sounding coming from them and just instantly throw it at the back. I'm literally gonna
just don't put all your chickens.
I'm like, look, we should applaud this. We should say it sounds great, but we should also say, look, it's not that we don't trust you.
I mean, it is.
But your previous efforts have been below par, and that's coating it quite nicely.
Yeah.
So we want to encourage this sort of talk to be like, if you actually mean this, then yes, go do this. Sounds great. But we're going to reserve judgment until the actual product is out and people have the actual thing in their hands and are happy or unhappy with it.
Right, shall we move on?
Yes.
Right. So basically, if you live in America, there is a new law coming in, which is basically stating that at least for video games, and the states of Steam or PlayStation Store, Xbox Shop. I think Ubisoft have got a shop. But anyway, any of the digital only shops, shall we say?
Mm-hmm.
Basically, if you buy something from there, they need to state that you are basically buying a license.
Yeah, not the actual
You're
game.
not actually buying the game like you would if you bought a physical copy.
Yeah.
You are buying a license to allow you to play that game online. Now, this is a good thing.
Yes. Customer informing customers of correct things is...
Yeah, Steam have already implemented this.
Yes.
It is now on anything they pretty much buy. It tells you that you are... at least I think it's for live services at the moment on live services.
Yeah. I know. It basically it is coming out with a warning of you're not physically buying the game. You're only buying a license to access it.
Yeah, like you're buying a key basically.
Yeah, and look, it needed to happen because I think the biggest example was when Ubisoft.
Well, the biggest example now is Concord.
Yes.
You've got to think people bought that game and now they can't play it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got the refunds, but still.
Yeah, you bought a game. You bought a physical copy of that game.
Yeah, if you some people bought a physical copy of that game.
I wonder how much those discs are probably going to be worth. Because it could be one of those weird things of this is a game that no longer.
It depends on how many were made.
Yeah.
For one, and it depends how many were sold.
True.
So there's two key things. So if only 60 actually went out, then it could be you could class it as a collector's item.
Yeah. I don't know if it would though. But anyway,
hey, E.T. That's classed as a collector's item now.
Oh yeah, the game that caused the great gaming crash.
Yep.
Look, I've said before, I personally think physical is superior to digital because you actually buy a thing.
Yes.
It's a physical thing. But I understand for like your smaller developers, like the indie scene would not be as big and
if it wasn't for the fact that you could use
prosperous Steam as it is now if digital only wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
It has its place, but the AAA game industry doesn't look at it digital only as we're just letting you download the game instead of no. It's like, no, we want you to we want to dictate to you your access to our products, and then we can no matter how much money you spend on it, we can pull that thing away whenever the fuck we want.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And it has led to certain things like The Crew for Ubisoft. Ubisoft put the plug on that, and it is now it is literally a dead game. You cannot play that game, even if you have the physical disc.
Babylon's Fall, which I mentioned before.
Babylon Fall is another one.
I actually have that game.
Poor you.
It's a coaster now.
Exoprimal. I have that game.
Oh, has it been pulled?
Yeah, they announced that they were going to close the servers.
Oh.
I know.
What's the fucking point in that?
I don't know.
I thought he was doing alright.
I thought it was as well, but
apparently not.
Not enough.
Yeah.
Could you use that tech and give us Dino Crashers, please? Those are nice looking dinosaurs.
That's true. They are nice looking dinosaurs.
Can we have a Dino Crisis in the RE engine, please?
Hey, we got a Silent Hill 2 somehow.
I know.
Remake.
A good Silent Hill 2.
Yeah, it's really good.
Like Blue Point. Was it Blue Point?
No, Bloomba. Because Blue Point is PlayStation.
Oh, no, yeah, it's Blue something though, isn't it?
No, it's Bloomba.
Okay, Bloomba. Yeah.
Bloomba. Blooder.
Anyway, yeah, Bloomba. Okay, my apologies. I was wrong.
Whatever.
Point I'm making is Silent Hill 2 is actually, because I've watched people play it.
It's very good.
It is genuinely unnervingly frightening.
Really?
No, in the same way as like Silent Hill 2 originally was.
Oh, yeah.
Like
for me, that's it for you. For me, because I'm actually playing it, it's that because I don't like jump scares. Like because they don't work.
No, it's not jump scary.
What I'm saying is that like I'm not scared of jump scares, but I don't really like them because it's one of those things that I like. It's like a 10-second jolt, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Right. But Silent Hill 2's done that thing. It has that thing, and the remake captures it really well, the same as the original one did. Of like it captures the when there's something off about something, you know what?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's unnervingly scary. Like it's.
I would use the word creepy.
Yes.
Unnervingly creepy.
Yes.
There's something off about it and something wrong, and I've always found that sort of stuff. I'm giving a fucking review of Silent Hill 2 now. I've always found that like that sort of stuff always sticks with you more than like the jump scares.
Yes.
And stuff like that. I haven't got to any frustrating bit yet because I know that the hotel in the original was a bit of a, at least I think it was the hotel, but the hotel was a bit of a maze.
Yes.
And all that sort of stuff, and it was easy to get lost. So I've not gotten there yet. But who knows?
Yes, Mr. Maxwell has a cold, unfortunately.
Yeah. Oh god.
Anyway, back onto
this.
Digital ownership.
Digital ownership.
And now, cynical me is like, well, at least the AAA game industry is now having to like be honest with their plans. Because this is I've accused Microsoft of this, so let's go in on it again. My whole Microsoft's end game is to basically own the game industry and then start charging a ridiculous amount of money for access to the game industry. That's what Game Pass is. That's the end game.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because it's Microsoft. You don't get sued as much as Microsoft does for uncompetitive practices by being nice. Anyway.
So we have so the new law is in California it will take effect next year. It requires digital storefronts to clearly specify if you're getting a license instead of an ownership. So basically, anything that's classed as a live service will be a license.
Yeah. Which, for live services, is understandable because the live service doesn't work once they shut the service down.
Yeah. Companies that violate the law will face fines for false advertisement. However, the law does not apply to storefronts that offer the download of content for permanent offline use. Steam does not, nor do PlayStation and Xbox. Currently, there are no similar legal requirements in the EU, but Valve, the owner of Steam, have apparently chosen to inform users worldwide.
Yes,
because most likely the law will come over here.
Yeah, it's only a matter of time, and I wouldn't be surprised if, because Steam has like an offline mode, so you can play certain games offline, and I think the reason why it's just the license at the moment is because what a lot of people do is buy the game, will download it, but then they'll uninstall, but they can still from their library. So your library is online always, but you can, with certain games, download them and play offline. So there may be something that they do later on which gives you either A, an option to do one or the other, or B, depending on the company that make the developers and the publishers, depending on what they do, could be sort of like, well, this game, if they buy it, they're allowed to download and install and, wipe their hands of it, and they don't need online or anything for it. But again, that's in the future.
Yeah,
it's a good start.
Yeah, it's a good start, and we can actually. It's nice to be told.
Yes.
Like it must suck if you, I don't know, if you played Concord and you liked Concord. And,
all you 4 people.
And sorry, just pulled the plug.
Well, it's like the Crew.
The Crew, yeah, the Crew's another one. I'm trying.
I mean, the difference between that is that the licenses for the cars in the game ran out, and Ubisoft did not renew the license, which is a thing now because the game industry is awful, and they don't, go, well, this game could be played forever, so we should really get the license, to work forever.
Yeah,
but that would cost more money. We can't do that. We can't spend money on games. Why would we want to do that?
That's why we're making live services. What are you on about? We'll sell them skins.
Ubisoft, the founder of that god-awful live service circle plan.
Oh, yeah.
That is a detriment to the entire game industry.
Yeah. But remember, don't ask questions, just consume product.
Yes.
Right, moving on. So, what do we go with next? Do we go with Starfield?
Yeah, let's go with Starfield.
Well, Starfield, the DLC, the expansion came out.
Yes, it did.
It's not doing well.
No, it isn't.
It's not doing well at all.
Well, it's not. It's not getting good reviews.
It's not doing well.
We know Bethesda don't really. The thing is like it's a double-edged sword. It means one that it proves that Bethesda's game philosophy is kind of outdated now, and other people.
Do they have a philosophy?
Yes, yeah, it is. It's
no. You can't say make a game and have the mods fix it.
No. I'm on about the level, the quest design structure and level design and all that sort of stuff. That's what I mean. That when I say game philosophy, that's what I mean. Like the gameplay loop.
Yeah.
Of how quests are obtained and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, so lore stuff for Starfield is pretty cool and pretty interesting when you find it. But the actual main quest line and the main a lot of the quest objectives, it's showing its age now. These were cool things when Oblivion came out, and because you're just stunned with the open world and how vibrant it looks, that you don't notice the levels, the design structure of quests are similar and all that sort of stuff, and games like Oblivion and Skyrim, they're not as expansive or they're not as spread out as Starfield is, and so you don't notice the repetitiveness of some missions, and I think that's the problem now, is that Bethesda's designs philosophy in like how they make missions and design environments and all that. Starfield has actually kind of shown how outdated it is, and the DLC hasn't changed any of that. It hasn't shown like any like, well, we're going to try this cool thing, and so a lot of people are very disappointed because a lot of people were basically reserving judgment for this expansion. Basically, like, okay, it's not great, but Fallout 76 was an absolute dumpster fire when that came out, and they've managed to turn it into an actual semi.
Yeah, after 3 fucking expansions.
Yeah, after the problem with Starfield is like, unlike Fallout 76, where the expansions, even though they didn't all fix, the first one didn't fix everything or change it. It did enough to give people hope that it is on its. They're fixing.
Yeah, you could see the light at the end of the tunnel with
this hasn't, and that's why a lot of people are not happy with it.
I am just at the point with Bethesda now that, like, look, I've ranted about Bethesda on our chats before.
Yes.
I am now at the point of just like, you know what? I don't give a shit anymore. Like, I give up with you.
Like, I bought Starfield because it was my jam, like an explorative RPG sci-fi game. That is my jam. I am a sci-fi nerd. I love Star Wars. I love Star Trek. Babylon 5 is amazing. I wish they would make Colony Wars again. Sony, please, thank you. Anything involving space exploration and throwing big giant ships blowing up other big giant ships. That's it. That is my jam. I will enjoy that. No matter how bad the actual game is, I will enjoy that.
Yeah.
But Starfield is just not that. It's very it is underwhelming.
Starfield is literally if you took No Man's Sky today,
yeah,
right, and said let's make that, but boring.
Yeah, no, with all the interesting features spread out.
Yeah. And we'll add one in at a time.
And the thing is, the stuff that they've added for free shows how much bullshit Todd was saying on the build-up. Like, oh yeah, you won't need a vehicle. You don't need a vehicle. You've got the jetpack. You don't need a vehicle. Why would you need a vehicle? You've got the jetpack. You're perfectly fine.
Yeah, you can get a vehicle now.
There's a vehicle now in the game. Oh, I wonder why. Because the game, traveling by jetpack from point A to point B in Starfield is fucking nauseating.
Todd is a liar.
He is. He is a liar.
He's an awful liar.
And when he came out and said that, I didn't believe him.
I'm sure he's a lovely person, but he's also a liar.
Yeah.
He is a charlatan.
Yeah.
And a snake oil salesman.
It
just works. No,
no,
it doesn't.
It says something though that even with all that we've said about Todd, he is not the worst.
No, he's not the worst.
Model you.
Look, he's one of those people that are just like. He's one of those people that, like I said,
I'm
sure he's lovely.
That's about like false expectations and lying and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. He's not the worst. That is literally left for Peter Molyneux.
Yeah,
but that's a whole different kettle of fish. We won't go there.
But yeah, I think the average rating is I want to say 5.
Yeah, it's not good.
For Starfield, which for a Bethesda game is not very good.
And it is such a shame because like of the three like factions, the one this is like focused on is the more interesting one because it's like the snake type group that are like very shadowy and they don't talk to people and they're very covert and all that.
I'm sure.
But and I was thinking, oh, we're gonna get like a League of like a
Dark Brotherhood
vibe with these guys, like a faction of them are sent out to just kill people. That'd be cool. No,
of course not. Why would they do something interesting? when they could just send you on a fetch quest.
Yeah, it's just...
Go get the MacGuffin. I literally just did that. Well, go get another MacGuffin. But
look, I don't want to do the plot to the Rise of Skywalker. Thank you very much. Please don't do that to me. So on the one side, it's like, okay, maybe Bethesda will now with the next game, which might be Elder Scrolls.
Everybody's
6,
assuming that it's going to be Elder Scrolls 6.
They might change things up. The downside to this is that if this is seen as a failure, this DLC, it probably means that there's not going to be anything else.
Probably not.
This is the end of the development cycle.
It's not a good product.
Starfield, and because the modding community has turned around and gone, nah, we don't want to be a part of this.
Yeah.
It means that the game is not going to have the lifespan of.
Look, we all know what's going to happen. Right, Starfield's going to die. It's going to die now.
Yeah.
Like it's just not going to do very well.
And then I guarantee this. Some modding master will go, do you know what? I can make Starfield an actual good game.
Probably. That probably happened.
And they'll make a mod.
But
and it will turn the game into an amazing game.
Probably. But what's going to happen is Starfield's going to die. Bethesda and Microsoft are not going to touch it.
Nope.
Unless this mod thing happens and they'll go, oh, well, maybe we could make a Starfield 2. Ooh. But anyway, what they're going to do is they're going to advertise Elder Scrolls 6. And we're going to go back into that cycle of Bethesda and Todd reveal a new game, which is actually just bollocks. He's going to spout a load of bollocks, and everyone's just going to eat it up. And then the game's going to get released, and then everyone's going to moan and bitch about it.
It's going to be
about it being shit. It's going to be a buggy mess, and then the modders are going to come in and fix it, and then Bethesda's going to take all the plaudits for the modders fixing their fucking game, as they always have done. And it's just a cycle, and this is always going to happen. The only reason why this is different is because the modders literally turned around and went, no, this game's fucking shit.
We don't. This game. No. They didn't say it was shit. They said it was boring.
No, it's shit. It's shit. They turned around and went, "No, this game's shit." And I'm not modding for this game.
It's like the thing is like the more I see games like this, the more I'm like, I want Colony Wars back. Like I love space combat, and what is in Starfield is not space combat. There's no changes to the space combat, by the way. In the DLC, the biggest issue, in my opinion, for Starfield is its quest structure and its the space combat, which for a sci-fi game is the thing that sets them out from the other stuff from Fallout. Like gunplay is not the thing that's going to set it apart from Fallout, and exploration is not going to be the thing that sets it apart from the Elder Scrolls games. It's going to be the stuff you do in space, and it is the most boring, lazy, simplistic fucking thing going. And I'm like, for fuck's sake.
This is because you expected them to do something new and make it exciting.
I didn't. The problem is like my expectations weren't exactly high. I was just expecting like a semi-competent space combat.
Oh yeah,
that's all I wanted. Not just the AI just flies towards you, shoots at you, flies past you, boosts away, turns around and does the same again.
Yeah.
There's no like trying to get on your tail. There's no maneuvers actually being made.
Right.
And I'm like, all I wanted was like, there's not even like, the only thing, it's a very bare bones system.
Yeah.
And that's what disappointed me. It's like, they've put the bare minimum in this, and this is the thing that separates it. This is the thing that separates it from its other franchises.
Starfield is a shipbuilding game, a good shipbuilding game, with a bunch of crap around it.
Yeah, the problem is that like to get to the shipbuilding stuff, you have to go loads of places.
Yeah.
And do lots of shit.
This is what I'm saying.
And I'm like, I'm not willing to put in that amount of fucking effort. No one is. Fuck off.
No one is, apart from your diehards.
If I wanted a shipbuilding game, I'd load up
I just load up Kerbal.
The Kerbal, I would load up either the Kerbal Space Program or Gal Civ 3.
Yeah.
Because that has a shipbuilding dynamic to it. And I'm like, yeah, give me. I would just have that instead, please and thank. I'll just do that.
I would actually, you know what? If I wanted a space game, I would rather sit here and wait for eternity for Star Citizen to come out than fucking play Starfield.
I'm just like, could I just get a Colony Wars, please?
just please,
Sony.
Give us Colony Wars.
I want a remake of Colony Wars. I want a remake of that Zero-G space combat because no one else did it. No one else did it like Colony Wars. Colony Wars was great, by the way. It was fantastic. I'm going to sing the plaudits to that. Look, I got Armored Core 6. I have the right now to demand Dino Crisis remake and Colony Wars remake, please.
Or just a Colony Wars game.
Yeah. Well,
doesn't even have to be a remake.
Yeah, put it on the PlayStation Classics. Sony, it's not hard. It was made by Psychosis. You owned that studio. You owned the license. You could release all 3 Colony War games. I mean, granted, no one cares about the third one, but...
To be fair, I don't even think Sony remember that they've got the Colony Wars.
No, they probably don't.
Because, Astrobot.
Yeah.
Astrobot has, like, even the PS1 game mascots and all that sort of stuff. Nothing to do with Colony Wars is on there.
Well, it's a bit hard to do an Astrobot of a ship.
They made a PS5 controller into a ship.
I know, but, like...
You could easily just get one of the ships from Colony Wars and put blue eyes on it. That's all they got to do.
Ah, that's very true. That is very true.
They don't have to do anything else.
Such a great game. I think I've still got it as well. I may boot on my I'll hook up my PS2 and play. Anyway, I think...
yeah, we should move on.
Right,
Ubisoft! We are moving on to Ubisoft and all that bollocks. Well, number 1, Ubisoft stock has dropped so low that they are actually considering...
shareholders are looking to oust Yves Guillemot
and are considering a buyout from Tencent.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure Tencent own...
Tencent
own... say 20%?
Yeah. Basically, Guillemot and his group are in charge because of Tencent, basically. And I think some of the shareholders are trying to potentially stage a hostile takeover.
Yeah, it's the Guillemot family hold the majority of the stake in Ubisoft, and there has been rumored that they are considering a buyout from Tencent.
Yeah, because Ubisoft stock is doing horrendously bad, and not surprising since their X-Defiant is not doing that great. To which I'm like, good, because you're taking the Tom Clancy license and shitting on it.
Yeah.
Like, give me a goddamn Tom Clancy game that is actually a Tom Clancy game, not just with the words Tom Clancy on it.
Oh, for God's sake.
Like, The Division is as close to fucking... The Division makes sense in a Tom Clancy setting because it's all about sleeper cells and all that sort of shit, and tech. Espionage, but like, have you seen this? Have you actually checked the storyline for Rainbow Six Siege?
No.
Oh my god!
I know it's weird. I know it's
it
weird.
Makes no sense.
I know it makes Call of Duty look like it's a fucking nursery rhyme.
No, it makes Call of Duty look like it's an epic novel. Among the ranks of actual Tom Clancy, like Hunt for Red October, that sort of level of oh my god, this is an amazing book sort of thing.
Yeah,
right. It's horrendous. And I'm like, Ubisoft, can you stop shitting on?
We've had Skull and Bones,
yes,
which bombed,
yes,
which of course it was going to bomb. You're selling a game that everybody can get for free. For $40. No, they were selling it for what? A quadruple A. 70 quid. They were selling it for $70. You were advertising it as a quadruple A game. Of course nobody bought that game.
Here's the thing. It's a pirate game. And for a quadruple A pirate game, you can't leave your ship and bury your booty.
Yep.
You can't go and search for booty.
Yep.
It's a fucking pirate game.
You could do more pirate stuff on Assassin's Creed Black Flag than you could on Skull and Bones.
You could do more piratey things on a lot of games.
No, I'm just saying because Black Flag was made
Yes.
by them, and
Yeah.
comparisons are quite easy on this one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Extremely easy. Outlaws has not done as well as they
Well, of course
wanted.
it didn't. It's shit.
Now, my point being is, I think the reason why it hasn't done as well as they wanted is one, their expectations were probably too high. Two, they haven't realised that people are just sick and tired of Ubisoft open world games. And three,
the Star Wars title is not as lucrative as you might think right now.
yeah, the Star Wars title has a lot of baggage on it, and
Releasing a subpar product with the Star Wars banner on it is not going to give you...
Is it the worst Star Wars game? Fuck no, it's not.
No, it's not. But what I am saying...
It is a competent game. The problem is that for the amount of money that they were probably expecting it to sell, you needed your game to be a lot more...
I don't even think it's competent. I think it's old and stale and horrible.
There's a lot of design flaws in it. It's like...
There's a lot of stuff in that game that you would expect to see 10 years ago.
Yeah.
In these games.
Like, for example, you've been spotted in a stealth mission. Fail. Go back to start.
Yeah.
Do it all again. It's like, no. Nowadays, it's like again, prime example. The game that out Assassin's Creed, goes to Tsushima. If you got spotted it was your choice to go in stealthily or...
Yeah.
If
you got spotted, you could run away and hide.
Or you could stand and fight. It was a choice. I mean, granted, there was that one time in that giant ass camp that you were thinking of standing and fighting, and then you saw the amount of...
Oh, yeah.
I was like, I mean, you ended up having to fight them all, but you did it in a way of take one guy out, run away.
Yeah.
Isolate, take basic... Which is the way it would work out in...
Yeah, we got to the point where we ended up having to fight because we were in the middle of the camp and there was nowhere to go.
Yeah. But you did it the way you fought was not engaging everyone at the same time, sort of thing. Which is the fact that the game let you do that is pretty cool. Well done. Ubisoft's
Ubisoft's answer is that no, we'll just have you start again.
No, it's a fail. It's a fail. Oh, by the way, the fail still lowers your reputation with this faction. By the way, so even though we reset you, we didn't reset the reputation because fuck you.
Why would we? Why would we do that?
Why would we want to care about your gaming experience?
It's. I'm trying to think what. And also all the fucking bollocks that's coming out and is surrounding Shadows is not exactly doing them any favours.
No, it's not. I'm not surprised they delayed it till next year. Now
it doesn't matter. That game's fucked. That game's fucked.
The negativity around it has probably torpedoed.
I think the main
of opportunity.
The main problem with that game is one, the combat that they showed. It looks old. It looks old and clunky and horrible.
There's no fluidity to it.
And two, I think the other problem is the fact that number one, they originally came out with the fact that this is historical. We're trying to keep faith with historical accuracy and all that shit, which they shouldn't have done. They shouldn't have said that. They should not have said that in an interview, but they did.
They should have basically said, "Look, we're basing it off these characters, but we're not going to follow.
We're using these people to
tell a story.
That's
we're
what
using
they should
this people and this setting to tell a story,
which is what they should have done.
Yeah.
Because that way you get away with a lot of shit that you're saying Yasuke can do.
Yeah.
You get away with a lot of shit there, but unfortunately you didn't. You didn't say that. You said that you were trying to keep faith, and unfortunately, everything happened with that's come out about Yasuke has happened to the point of okay, right. So we've got the Yasuke problem, which is a minor problem. By the way, it is a very minor problem. The problem of Yasuke has actually come from Ubisoft because they have advertised this character to be fucking Jesus by the sense of things. He's amazing at everything, right? And yet he's supposed to be so intelligent he can't open a fucking door. He has to run through it. He's that intelligent he can't write properly. In the trailers that they've shown off. The main problem.
That sounds a bad animation.
Yeah, Well, not. Well, yeah, but they're still Ubisoft. Like it's the director of the game that has said all this.
Yeah.
There's your problem.
Yep.
That is your problem right there. Your director is saying shit, and then you are showing stuff
That
with this game which completely contradicts. Like this. Oh, he's super smart, and he can easily outmaneuver anybody in the thing. And then you literally cut to a scene where Yosuke's running through a door where all he's got to do is lift the fucking thing off to unlock it.
Yeah.
Or he's writing kanji in the wrong way. You know, it's just like, oh my god. Like, the Yasuke problem isn't even the fact that, like, oh, well, he's black. No, the Yasuke problem is Ubisoft is saying that this character is amazing, and then you are constantly contradicting yourself by showing him doing stupid shit.
Yeah. The stuff they've shown, the animations, you can clearly tell the end of one animation and the beginning of another. It's not very fluid.
It's not very fluid. The fact that he doesn't actually put his sword back in the sheath.
Yeah.
You know, there's, oh my god.
It's just there's a lot of attention to detail problems. Like
that game is fucked.
Yeah.
Also, there's the fact that you've put in the Buddha, which you're not allowed to do. Mm-hmm. You're not allowed to use that Buddha in media because they don't allow you to use it. But you've done it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, well done at showing great cultural fucking
showing good respect to other cultures.
Yeah, well done. Yeah, by using a holy symbol that you're not allowed to use in media. Yeah, well done, Ubisoft, well done. And then you look at the development team that's actually worked on that, and you go, yeah, there's not a single Japanese person or of ethnicity in there, and of course.
So obviously they're trying to. This group are trying to make Ubisoft private.
Yeah,
and in one sense, I'm like, yay, potential getting rid of Yves Guillemot because he really needs to go. But there's another part of me like, but he goes in a way of getting a golden parachute.
That was how he was always going to go.
I know.
He's Guillemot.
The point I'm making is not necessarily that he's getting a golden parachute. The point I'm trying to make is like the people who will actually suffer from this fuck up that has been made by management at Ubisoft.
Yes.
This is all on the upper management and the decision making of Ubisoft. The fact that Yves Guillemot had no one for Yves Guillemot had the thought, said it, and no one contradicted him at Ubisoft hierarchy by saying it's a quadruple A. Can you imagine if you were working in a Ubisoft studio as a person that actually does the ones and zeros, as a person that actually does like the actual animations and how, like, can you imagine reading that?
Yeah.
God, I'd be fucking infuriated, right? It's the people that are doing like all the hard shit, like the people that decide, the people that had to work in the Ninja Lass who I can't remember her name, damn it.
I know it.
Yeah, you know, yeah. The fact that they added in the bit where she takes a reed and uses it to breathe underwater.
Yeah.
The little details that are done right in what we've seen in Assassin's Creed Shadows. Those people are the ones that are going to suffer the most.
Oh yeah.
And none of it is their fault. Mm-hmm. The only thing wrong they've done is turn up to work and try to do the best they fucking can. And they're going to get shat on because of the fucking bullshit decisions from the hierarchy who probably don't even give a shit about them.
The thing is, as we've learned from Bobby Kotick, is that CEOs of companies are basically Doctor Doom.
They're not even that good.
Well, no, what I'm saying is they cause a lot of shit. They do a lot of shit.
Yeah.
They get a lot of people like suffer because of it. And then they walk off
with no
repercussions whatsoever.
Yeah, but at least
into the sunset.
At least Doctor Doom had a diplomatic immunity.
Yeah, I know, but that's my point.
And was entertaining. Like the guy could monologue for.
Oh, I know. Do
you know what? Do you know what the ideal monologue of I would want?
What?
Dr. Victor Von Doom and Sosuke Aizen.
Sosuke Aizen would still win.
Oh, he would still win, but by God, would that be some?
It would be funny.
It would be A-star. class monologue.
It would be fantastic. But as good as Doctor Doom is at monologuing, he does not hold a candle to the monologuing of Sasuke Ice.
I know. Also, Doom is very vindictive to the point of like defeating himself.
Yeah.
Like he saves Reed Richards' child solely so that he could
rub it in Reed Richards' face.
Like because I think he said he's like, I didn't save your child because I care. I did it so that every time you look at her, you know I'm the one that saved her, and you couldn't. God. Also,
that is the one way to like just absolutely throw Doctor Doom.
Yeah, just
mention
Reed Richards.
Just go. Reed Richards could do better, and that's it. Game over.
Game over.
Doom's lost.
You've psychologically defeated Dr. Victor Von Doom because his vindictiveness takes over.
But anyway, back to Ubisoft. I don't know about Tencent, because obviously Tencent have got their hands in everything.
Yeah, which is kind of scary.
It is kind of scary. But at the same time, Ubisoft has just been... They've been dropping the ball so many times now.
The very fact that there's been very little, if not no action regarding the accusations of...
Yeah, this is what I mean. When you go from the sexual harassment stuff that came out, and the fact that there didn't really look like there was many repercussions for anybody that was involved, as far as we know.
Yeah, as far as we know. I mean, we've not heard about anyone being fired.
Yeah.
Which, considering some of the accusations, if it has happened, they should have been fucking fired.
We do know people stepped down, but
yes.
That just seemed to be like a golden handshake situation.
Yeah.
Like I said, so you had that
basically
downfall.
There wasn't enough done publicly to indicate that they actually took the allegations seriously.
So
is the point.
We've got that one thing. You've got Guillimon's bloody response to all that, which was just fucking awful, right? Then you've got the products, right? Good and Evil 2 is in development hell. What is it in development hell? It might just be in limbo.
I think to be honest, that's the best pace it could be at the moment. That's the best case scenario, that it's in development hell.
All we know about Good and Evil is that apparently they're working on it via one tweet.
They keep blue balling the Splinter
Cell just keeps getting blue balled all the fucking time. You've got the Assassin's Creed franchise, which has just been bled to death.
Yeah.
That really, it generally just needs a break. I was praying that, like Mirage, because I like Mirage, I think it's very good. It's the first Ubisoft game I've bought in a very long time. But playing that game made me think, go back to this. This is fun. I get that, like, that version of Assassin's Creed, like Origins and Valhalla, that is mainstream. I get that, but that stuff is boring as fuck.
If you wanted to play The Witcher,
if I want to play The Witcher, I'll play The Witcher. If I want to play not Ghost of Tsushima, what's the other one that's like kind of like The Witcher, fantasy, all that sort of stuff. But you get what I mean.
Yeah.
If I want to play that, I'll play that. I want to play Assassin's Creed. This is no other game plays like Assassin's Creed.
No.
You know, and then they came out with Shadows, and I saw the gameplay, and I'm not gonna lie, I was very disappointed.
I mean, the thing is, I think we knew Shadows was going to be in
the mainstream sort of bollocks.
I think the thing was the hope we had was because there was going to be two characters. And technically, yes, they say, oh yeah, Inoue is going to be more stealth orientated than Yosuke, because Yosuke is
his strength. He's a big
muscly guy. He's got samurai armor. He's not. It'd be very unrealistic to expect him to be stealthy. I understand that, but the thing is like the combat for Inoue, unless you just full blow stealth it boils down to. It falls into that Valhalla / Origin /
There's another thing about Shadows.
Type combat.
The director came out and said, "Oh, you can play the game either fully as Yosuke if you want, or you can play fully as Inoue." No. And then literally in the next fucking scene, when there'll be some areas where you can't use Yosuke's strength to get you through, so you'll have to be Inoue, and sometimes you can't use Inoue's speed to get you through, so you have to be Yosuke. You literally contradicted yourself, like.
In the same trailer.
In the space of like 15 seconds, you contradicted yourself. Yeah. But anyway, back to it's Ubisoft have just like, if this was Bethesda,
yeah,
right, dropping the ball this many times, and then Microsoft came along and went, right, okay, you're kind of taking the piss now. Either sort your shit out, or we're just gonna close you and get you. At this point, I would be like, yeah, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, there's no
you can't
defending that.
Drop the ball this many times.
And then again, like Outlaws, this is another thing with like Ubisoft. It's like they everything we saw regarding Beyond Good and Evil 2 was literally, yeah, this is a Ubisoft Star Wars like game.
Yeah,
it looked like a Star Wars like game. It sounded like a Star Wars like game. And then they announced, yeah, we're making a Star Wars game. I'm like, are you fucking for real? Are you like? I think that's another thing that's probably not even worked on. It's like the Ubisoft fan base that are like begging for something for Beyond Good and Evil 2, for them to then hear, because like, oh my god, Beyond Good and Evil 2, but it's like Star Wars. Oh my god, this could be great. This could be amazing.
To be fair,
and then them come out and go, yeah, we're making a Star Wars game. Why? What are you doing? What
to be honest, with what they showed of Beyond Good and Evil 2, it's good. What they showed. The ideas that are in there are good.
The concepts are, but like I say, it looks like it's basically it looks like a Star Wars game. It sounds like a Star Wars game.
Yeah.
It just isn't Star Wars. And then for Ubisoft to turn around and go, yeah, we're making a Star Wars game. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? What is wrong with you?
It's not even a good Star Wars game.
You are deciding that you're going to shelve or stop or whatever the fuck you're doing with Beyond Good and Evil 2, and you're going to make an actual Star Wars game. Are you insane? What is wrong with you? And I know why they did it. Because they went, well, we don't have to put as much work into it and it'll sell gangbusters because it's Star Wars. And I'm like, yeah, if it was like 10 years ago, if it was before the Disney trilogy, yeah, it probably would have sold gangbusters.
Aye.
The problem is that Disney have damaged that franchise horrendously badly. And not by but being woke, as people say. No, by basically having terrible stories, terrible writing,
by shitting on the fucking
and shitting on the originals, on the actual lore that has been there and is set. Like, I wasn't a massive fan of the Jedi versus Sith. That's why I didn't really gel with the original the prequel trilogy, because that was very Jedi Sith focused.
Yeah,
but it gave me stuff I liked. The Battle of Coruscant was amazing. It was fantastic. It's like giant ships blowing up giant ships. Just feed me more of that, please. Thank you. I'm very happy. But I like the
prequels gave me one thing.
Yeah,
and I don't need anything else from the prequels.
Mm-hmm.
And that was Darth Maul.
Yes,
the coolest character that has ever existed. Even Boba Fett. Like, I love Boba Fett is my favourite character of all characters in Star Wars. But Darth Maul is so unbelievably fucking cool. The second you see him, you just go, that guy's fucking cool. Yeah. Like, there is nobody better than Darth Maul. But that is the one thing that Disney, I will thank Disney for. Because I generally do have a little soft spot for the prequel trilogy. Yeah. So I like when people used to bash it back in the day, it did kind of like irk me a little bit. But now nobody bashes them because they're miles better than what we're getting.
But also Disney gave you Rebels, which gave you more Darth Maul.
Yes, gave me Rebels.
And actually gave Darth Maul like a final send-off sort of
yes.
thing, with
yes.
the final
Disney did
the
give
final
us
the final duel between him and Obi-Wan, which
Yes.
was actually well done.
Yeah.
It was amazing. I know it's amazing like how these like smaller teams that don't seem to have an awful lot of like bullshit manager oversight.
Yeah, the ones that like just look down and just go, yeah, do whatever you fuck you want. It's not going to
Yeah,
do
it's
anything anyway.
like the ones that feel like that have been worked on by people who are actually passionate and about the actual the actual Star Wars itself, and not their own like I want to self-insert my own thing.
Either
here.
that, or they're just seeing the Star Wars name and just seeing Darth fucking signs.
I can just make whatever shit I want.
And we'll just put the Star Wars thing in and we'll make money.
Yeah. Anyway, I know we're bashing on Disney
Which is
Star
what
Wars,
Outlaws is. Because I'm sorry, that's what that is.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Star Wars.
That game,
Star Wars Outlaws,
as much as
has not done as much as Ubisoft has expected.
As much as
but I also think Ubisoft probably expected it to do stupid numbers.
Oh yeah, as much as I have seen people say good things about that game, I look at that game and I've seen people play it and I've watched people live stream it and watched people defend it and all that sort of shit. Whenever I see that game, I literally see a game that took about 2 years to make, that they've took things from other games that already exist and put it in.
Yeah,
that is what Outlaws is.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing new in that game. And you can try and defend. If you like it, you like it. That's perfectly fine.
I mean, that's not a bad thing in itself.
Oh no, I'm not. But like, it's not. There's no polish in there.
There's nothing in Outlaws that sets it like apart. You know, like how Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah.
How like the story and the characters.
Yeah.
Were really, really good. Like fantastic. Like Carl and the whole gang are really great characters.
I'm waiting for Cal to show up in, like, I don't know, the fucking Mandalorian or something. I'm just waiting for it. I'm just going to be like, yeah, Disney are just going to go, yeah, everybody likes this character. Let's put him in a TV show.
Yeah, to which
where we'll ruin him.
Yeah. The thing is like, I would call bullshit on that because it's like, look, we know they want to do a trilogy, and I'm putting my foot down right now. Cal Kestis, after everything he's done, there is no way he's getting out of the third game alive. The final fight will be against Vader, and Vader will kill you.
Yeah.
It's the only way to make sense. Like, the amount of stuff Cal does, and he is now openly going up against the Empire.
Yeah.
Like, there is no way on hell. Like, Vader has shown up twice. He has shown up twice. And Cal's gotten away. There is no fucking way Vader shows up a third time and does not kill him. It just doesn't happen. Cal is going to die in the third one. I'm convinced of this, and it's the only way to make sense in the lore.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it's like, well, where the fuck is he in the original trilogy? Like, he does all this shit. He's interacting with the rebellion and every other fucking minor faction. That's
another thing that, like, they need to stop doing. They need to stop using Darth Vader. Like,
I know.
The more they show him off, like, the less he seems impressive.
Yeah, true. That is very true. I with Respawn's use, he is literally like one little thing done. That's it. The perfect one was the first game where he's at the end and it's like, yeah, you need to fucking run. you're not beating this guy. And the second one is like it's to basically give Siri, is it Siri? A badass moment.
Yeah.
It's to make her basically, because she was just they didn't show her off as any like strong power or anything in the first game. I think it was a sort of thing of like, well, she's gonna get to be shown off as a badass, and she's gonna go toe to toe with Vader, but she's going to lose.
Yeah.
Which is fine, in my opinion. I think that's perfectly fine. Let her get her moment. And then the reward of getting her moment is to be another notch on Vader's Jedi I've killed.
Yes.
But again, like, I know we digressed into.
Yeah, we're digressing into Star Wars.
But like I say, Cal Kestis, if they do a third Jedi, whatever, Cal has to die. He has to. There is no way you explain how he's done all this shit, and he is not at all of any like mention in the original trilogy.
Well, this is the point here is that, number one, although I've not played Fallen Order or Survivor,
yeah,
and I don't plan to,
They're not really. I mean, they play a lot like Sekiro in the combat. It's like a little easier Sekiro sort of thing.
It's Sekiro light.
Yeah, Sekiro light, which is fine. It does it very, very well.
Yeah. I don't plan on playing them, but at the same time, I can recognize that like the people who do like it, it's got the story. Like I said, the characters are good and all that sort of stuff. You look at Outlaws, and you've got one of the most interesting ideas that has come out of Star Wars in a while.
Yeah.
You're going to be working with the Hutts. You're going to be working with the Underground and Tatooine. And all that
You're
sort of
going to be
stuff.
working with the
Black Market,
the Crimson Dawn,
and all that sort of stuff. You've got a good idea there, and they've done nothing with it.
Yeah,
it's your bog standard fucking Ubisoft game.
Yeah, it would have been nice to actually.
And I know, I think that when it comes to Ubisoft, I think the reason why Outlaws has gotten a little bit of like everyone, where people liking it and all that stuff, I think it's because their games have been so shit.
Yes.
Lately, that Outlaws has come out and it's semi-decent.
It's competent.
It's competent and it's semi-decent.
It has design flaws of like that have shown its age, like the stealth things that we mentioned.
Yeah.
But like the game as a whole, there are not major bugs in the actual full release. You know, the press build that you got for early access, that had issues which you had to restart your game, which we covered last time. But the game as a whole doesn't have. It has your usual bugs in an open world game because it's almost impossible to find every bug in an open world game. Because
look, I'm not bothered about bugs.
I know, but what I'm saying is like the game actually it works. It's competent.
Yeah.
It doesn't have like issues like Valhalla had, which is it literally soft locked you. At times, it didn't, come out with really dumb ideas. It just, there's nothing in Outlaws that sets it like above everyone else.
Yeah,
it's like it doesn't do anything special. Do you, if you know what I mean? That stands out. And all that combined with all the other games that have come out and have not done well has led to Ubisoft's stock market price crashing the way it has, leading to investors, because all they care about is money, going, we want our money. We don't think you can get us our money back. So we want someone else.
So who knows? Who knows what's going to happen with Ubisoft?
But again, as always, it's going to be the people at the bottom that suffer the most, because fuck the gaming industry.
Yep. Okay, so moving on.
Yes.
Pokemon Maker, Game Freak, in case you know anybody, they were hacked.
Yes.
And things came out that I'm not going to lie, I'm not.
Yeah, there were things.
There were things that came out that I was a little bit surprised by.
Yes, we'll leave it at that.
Typhlosion, and that is where I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it at Typhlosion, and if you know, you know. If you don't, you don't.
You don't, and we would recommend you don't find out.
Yes. So, Game Freak were hacked, and it was a victim of a data leak after information appeared online over the weekend. The company, which has developed a Nintendo-exclusive video game series since 1996, had its servers hacked in August this year. A statement said 2,606 items containing the names and email addresses of current, former, and contract employees were accessed, which is quite frightening. The company did not comment on other information shared online, claiming to show details of unreleased and upcoming projects. Game Freak said it would individually contact those affected where possible and strengthen security measures to prevent similar hacks in the future. It is currently developing Pokemon Legends Z2A, which is due for release next year, and also they're also suing with Nintendo on the suing of Pocket Pair, who are the makers of Power World.
Again, like we said when we mentioned they were suing them. Instead of suing them for like infringement on their cat monsters,
they're suing them.
They're suing on Pokeballs.
Yeah.
A game mechanic.
Right. So first off, obviously hacking a company we do not endorse.
No.
That is very obvious.
It's a dumb thing to do. It shouldn't do it, and it's definitely wrong.
I think if I remember reading online somewhere else, the hackers were looking for, number one, what all hackers are looking for, information to sell.
Personal details, basically.
Probably. But also what they were probably looking for to sell online was like information on the Switch 2 and information on the next Pokemon game to come out on, which is allegedly coming out onto the Switch 2 whenever that comes.
Yeah.
But yeah, there were other things that got leaked as well.
Yes.
Is it the only game that I saw anybody ever talk about was the Switch 2 Pokemon.
Yeah.
But they weren't really talking about it in the sense of, oh yeah, it's going to have this. It was just sort of like, there's another Pokemon game in the works.
Yeah.
Sort of thing, and they don't know what it's called. They don't know anything about it.
Well, actually, early shit. Like they're just spitballing ideas, sort of. Stuff.
Yeah, of what it sounds like.
Yeah.
The other thing that was leaked was unused lore for Pokemon games.
I mean, you
hence
can call it that.
Typhlosion. This ranged from everything from Vaporeon to, and when you actually see it, it's kind of more of a like somebody's got a weird kink.
Well,
this is fan fiction sort of.
Yes, it is.
Stuff.
It is when you actually read it. But
yeah.
Here's the thing. Remember the Pokemon game that was set in like ancient feudal?
Aquarius.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That mentioned that sort of shit.
Yeah.
Like there were Pokemon and people together.
Yeah.
So I mean, it didn't explicitly go into details.
I mean, to be fair, it explains a Machop.
And Mr. Mime.
And Mr. Mime.
Jinx,
yeah. It does explain the more humanoid-looking Pokemon if you think about it.
Yeah, if you actually think about it. Yeah. There is some correlation there.
But yeah, there's not much else to go on there. Other than that they were hacked.
And some freaky shit got released, and that's all we're going to say. I would recommend you don't go and search for it. I haven't actually gone and searched for it.
Or do if you're into that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I haven't looked for the kinky stuff.
No, I just happened to see someone respond to some of it, and I'm like, I don't even want to go there. That's enough. Thank you very much.
I've just found what the normal media have.
Yeah.
And they've not really talked about anything. The only reason why I know about the kinky stuff is because TikTok.
Yes. Social media. Of course, social media takes that shit and runs with it.
And moving on to the last thing of the day. Concord may not be as dead as everyone thinks. Yes, apparently Concord is going to be coming back.
This is only rumour and speculation.
But Concord may be considered one of 2024's biggest flops, but players shouldn't count out the hero shooter just yet, as it may be preparing a major return. Launching on August 23rd, Concord quickly became a meme online as Firewalk Studios' multiplayer game failed so badly that it was completely delisted from storefronts just 2 weeks after its release.
So the question is, they can't release it back as a 5v5 shooter.
No, I mean they can.
They can. It'll just suffer the same fate.
Probably.
I don't understand. So there's no logic in doing that. So
no.
What could they? What would they? What do you think would? If and this is a big if.
They can't. I mean, unless they do what
we said.
Unless they've done what this. I mean, if it does come out like this, it will not be like till another couple of years. You know what Paragon's done.
Yeah.
Well, Paragon went away and it's come back as something else now.
Yeah.
It's a progressive?
Yeah, something like that.
But it's using the character models and all that sort of stuff from Paragon.
Yeah.
In the game. I can't remember what it is now. I don't know what it is now, but I know it's kind of...
It was Paragon.
Yeah, but it was Paragon and it's something else now. Unless they do something like that.
Or like do a Fortnite, which is... Fortnite was a zombie horde survivor.
Yeah, but the thing is, Fortnite didn't go away. Fortnite...
Yeah, they just introduced
a battle royale, put the battle royale into the game, and then that just started getting players.
That just got exploded.
So they started focusing on the battle royale part instead
of the other part. What I mean is that it comes back as a different game. sort of thing.
Yeah.
As a
I
different
mean,
game
it could
type.
do.
And like we said like when we first heard about Concord and saw when the trailer was first when we were watching the trailer, it's like we thought was, ooh, is this a hero shooter heist game?
Yeah.
Which could be good. And then they had said it was a 5v5 shooter, and I was like, oh, like you
I want to know who's asking for these games. I actually want to know who is asking for hero shooters.
You and me
Somebody's asking for them. I mean,
know.
don't get me wrong, Marvel Rivals looks really cool, but who asked for that?
the thing with the thing is like that you can look at certain games and go, look, I understand what the reasoning behind this game existing.
Yeah.
Marvel Rivals is because someone saw Overwatch and went,
we can do that.
we could do that with but with Marvel. And Marvel has such a diverse cast of characters and abilities and power types that we could be doing characters for 10 years and not even get halfway through the roster.
And also, all those characters have so many different fucking costumes.
Yeah.
We could be making bank for fucking years.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, there was an understandable reason for Marvels. You can see the reasoning behind that game existing.
Yeah.
Concord existing as it is only makes sense because it was greenlit 8 years ago.
Yeah.
When Overwatch blew up.
Yeah.
And because it took 8 years, what was once a market with one game,
yeah,
the hero shooter, which was Overwatch, is now an oversaturated, bloated, hard
mess.
to like.
It's a mess.
Mess.
It's a mess.
Yeah.
The hero shooter genre is a bit of a mess right now.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, that's not necessarily means that a hero shooter is doomed to fail now. You just have to look at is it Steam? Valve?
Deadlock.
Deadlock. Yeah, you just have to look at Deadlock. That's an alpha.
Yeah.
Everybody's
loving that.
Everyone's loving that. But again, that's not a straight hero shooter.
No.
That's a hero MOBA.
Mm-hmm.
That's a shooter. That is a hero shooter MOBA.
Yeah, you know that.
Do you know what Battleborn was, everyone?
Yeah, you know Gearbox. You know that game that you made that was
the game that you made that was a MOBA, and you tried to sell it as a Overwatch hero shooter, which was the wrong thing to do. You should have sold it as a fucking MOBA. You fucking idiot. Oh, anyway, God damn it! I wish Battleborn is one of the most is one of the worst advertised games.
Yeah.
Because it really just did not sell on any of its strengths.
No, it didn't.
It tried to be Overwatch, and it's like, you're not Overwatch. Stop. Why Gearbox? Why are you doing this? Why are you torpedoing your own game? What are you doing? What is wrong with you? Well, I know what is wrong with you. It's called your CEO, but still.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, that's Concord coming back. I can't see it. Can't come back to 5v5.
What's it going to come back as?
Well,
unless they like rework the game from the ground up.
I mean, they would have to rework the game from the ground up.
Do you see them doing that?
I mean, they've sunk so much money into it anyway. They might as well try.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that's more money.
True. That's you shouldn't really throw good money after bad.
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe they use the assets for a different game.
Maybe. Hey, who knows? Maybe they've one of them's heard our chat and they've gone, a space heist game.
A hero space
heist game. That sounds like a winner. Maybe they're doing that. Maybe they're going to come up with a completely different game. But I can't see it. I can't see what they could do to make this game.
And again, this is all conjecture. This could be just complete and utter bollocks, yeah. For all we know. And I wouldn't be surprised if it is just complete and utter, because
I can't see it happening.
I've never known a game to come out in
nearly $200 million.
Yeah,
they put into this game.
For it to fail.
And it lasted 2 weeks.
For literally to be dead on arrival.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I say, maybe they are starting from the ground up. Maybe the studio are going to make a new game, but they're going to use the assets that they've built for this game.
Yeah.
In it.
Maybe.
Because like we said, like if that trailer had finished and they said, yeah, this is a 5-player hero co-op heist game. Because remember, Payday 3 had come out and had absolutely bombed because it was fucking awful. Like, can people stop fucking up the simple concepts of like, just do this and it'll work?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, this is there was a potential here. Like, there was a potential like to do well with this sort of like concept, and then they went, it's a 5v5 shooter.
Yeah.
Why? It makes no sense.
Yeah.
It makes no sense in what the trailer was portraying to us.
Yeah. It's like, wait, hold on, weren't they on the same team? Why are they shooting each other now?
Yeah. Anyway.
I can't, yeah, I just... I don't believe they're doing it. I don't believe they're doing it because I can't see them doing it. It doesn't make any goddamn sense. Or you're just going to chuck more money at a fucking dead horse.
That's what I'm saying. It can't be a 5v5 shooter. It has to be something else. It has to turn into something else. But I don't know what. It'd be nice if they come out with a sci-fi space heist co-op.
It would be nice if they
shooter.
just came out with something.
Yeah,
that works.
That
isn't bland and boring and a literal red flag.
Yes. It'd be nice if it was none of that.
But anyway, I think we'll end there.
I think also, maybe if the management can eat some humble pie.
Yeah.
And go to those people that were critical of parts of Concord during the development.
Yeah.
And apologise to them and go, yeah, we should have listened to you. I mean, got it. That's never going to happen. That's never going to happen in a million years.
Much there, aren't you?
I know. I'm not. I'm asking for so much there. I'm asking for the common decency.
They most likely fired those people who were being critical of the fucking game.
I'm asking for the common decency of a person apologising to someone who deserves to be apologised to.
I know, right?
I know. What am I thinking?
I know. Absolute bollocks, mate. Absolute bollocks.
But I think on that bombshell.
Yeah, I think we'll leave it there. I do hope you've enjoyed this chat. It's been a while. Been 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Yeah.
It's probably going to be another 2 weeks.
Yeah,
depending on things.
Slow. Oh, did we mention Alien Isolation's getting a sequel?
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Is it Creative Assembly? It's not Creative Assembly.
I don't know. I know the person that made the announcement is like the lead developer on the sequel, and Sega owns the license to it.
Yes.
So it's going to be under
it'll be one of the games.
I would like it to be Creative Assembly since they did such a good job, but I don't know if the people that made Alien Isolation are still at Creative Assembly. Because Sega and the higher ups of Creative Assembly have kind of fucked up a lot of stuff. Yeah. With like the Total War series and all that sort of shit. But it is hopeful optimism. It is hopeful optimism. And
a game that we didn't think was going to get a sequel is getting a sequel.
I know. Yeah. A game that deserved a sequel.
Especially with a fucking ending.
The thing is like.
I hate that ending.
I know, it's not great.
I hate that ending so much.
It's not great.
It's the first game I've got all the way to the end, seen the ending and gone, are you fucking kidding me?
The thing is like, I kind of don't want Ripley to be the protagonist in the sequel.
I need Ripley to be the fucking protagonist
but I also want something in it just to like give closure to Ripley, because I know there was a mobile game, Go Fuck Yourself, that doesn't count.
Yeah, we don't count the mobile game.
That Five Nights at Freddy's clone.
I need Ripley to be the protagonist in the next one, because I cannot have them just randomly floating in space.
I know.
And a ship finding them. Well, I know what we think is a ship.
Well, it has to be a ship. The only thing is that it could be a Colonial Marines. Unlikely. It could be a Weyland-Yutani ship.
Very
possible.
Likely.
Or it could be the Torrens, which is the most likely because the Torrens is actually fucking there. And maybe Verlaine wasn't dead. She'd been hiding from the Xenomorph.
Oh no!
But
it'd just be nice.
What I'm saying is that if we don't get Ripley as the main protagonist, we need some sort of like closure to the first game.
Yeah.
And I don't want just like a message.
Yeah, but that's what we're going to get.
Yes, I know it is. What I would like is, because the thing is like, if it's going to be in the same form of Alien Isolation, we need to have the protagonist, whoever it is, to not have known what the fuck the xenomorph is.
Well, no,
and then be introduced to the xenomorph.
I don't think you need that. I don't think we need that, because we can still have, you could still have Ripley and have Ripley have like obviously, and the amount of trauma that you went through in the first one.
Yeah,
that can, she can have PTSD. True. And then see a fucking xenomorph. Could you imagine that? So you've got, your character has PTSD, and then the thing that gives her PTSD just fucking shows up.
I suppose, yeah, it could actually work that way. I'm just thinking, like, that is, like, with most games, it's like my complaint with the newer Tomb Raider games.
Yeah.
It's like, they took Lara Croft in the first reboot game, broke her down, and then built her up to the Tomb Raider. And then in the second game, they did the exact same thing. And it's like, it makes no sense.
This is what I'm saying, is that because the way Isolation ends, because we don't get any closure and anything like that, we could start with Ripley just being an absolute fucking mess.
True.
On a hospital bed in a ship, right?
Yeah.
And she wakes up and it's already happened. Like a xenomorph has somehow got on.
So do a little bit like Dead Space.
Yeah.
Too, where it's like she wakes up and the shit has got everything.
The shit's already hit the fan.
Yeah.
You literally just start off and you're just fucking xenomorph. Like you start off and the first thing you see is a fucking face hugger.
Yeah.
Like,
actually, that kind.
We can still use Ripley.
Yeah.
And I would prefer to use Ripley than a new character, just because, like you said, we don't really get much of a fucking closure. You don't get any closure at the end of, like, they generally thought
they were going
to get a sequel with that ending, because that ending is fucking garbage.
I mean, in all due respect, the game is good enough; it deserved a sequel.
It deserves a sequel, yes, but like.
But unfortunately, it's the gaming industry, and they expected Alien Isolation, a stealth horror game,
yeah,
with an unkillable monster. They expected that to do Call of Duty numbers.
Yes,
and I'm like, are you fucking insane, Sega?
Yes.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yes,
stop it.
The answer is yes. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I will play it.
Yes.
I refuse to play Isolation just because the ending pisses me off so much. Because you do that is a game where you do all the work and the payoff is just so bad.
Yeah. I think because they expected a sequel, that's why that ending is. But
you should never write an ending expecting you should write an ending that this is why we have after credit scenes.
Yeah.
Right. So the ending of the story is before the credits.
Yeah.
And then the after credits teases another one.
Yeah.
You should never have your ending instantly linked to a fucking to a sequel.
Yeah.
We could have easily what they could have done.
I mean, I wonder if they was hinted to them that they would get a sequel to this game.
Probably. They probably were. They were probably told if this game does well, you'll get a sequel.
Yeah.
Right.
And then reviewers got it. And because they're reviewers like IGN, who are just pissy little crybabies,
7 out of 10. Everything
gave
is
it
7 out of 10.
They didn't even give it 7 out of 10. Gave it 5.9.
Yeah,
it's like below sevens because it's a stealth. You can't shoot the alien. I don't like that. Is Alien Isolation perfect? No, there are a bit of rough edges, and it does.
The thing is,
outlast its welcome.
The thing is. The way Alien Isolation plays, it plays exactly how you would think it would play.
Yeah.
Right? At no point do you look at Ripley and think, oh, she's a Marine. She's going to be able to handle a fucking gun.
Yeah.
No. That's why when you pick up the gun, the point every time she aims,
the point I'm making is like there are two main parts in the early part of the game. First is the first like real stealth bit where you're trying to get past the group of humans.
Yeah.
Which is really rough if you don't know what you're doing. And the second bit is just after medical.
Yeah.
Because you do not have many tools at your disposal to deal with the xenomorph. You are literally just having to hide. And the very next bit after medical is that 3-room, 1-corridor section.
Yes.
With only one place to hide.
Yeah.
And the xenomorph is just bounced. It's just walking around. Like, I've been streaming, because it's spooky season, I've been streaming Alien Isolation because I love that game. Even though I'm a scaredy cat.
Yeah.
I'm a little crybaby scaredy cat.
You're doing better than you did last time.
I know!
You didn't have to ask me to come and
No!
join you.
It's because I beat the game.
Yes.
So
true.
I know I can beat the game now.
Yes.
That's the thing. And I'm actually playing it on a harder difficult. I'm playing it on medium.
Oh my.
Brave little me.
I know.
I'm a brave little scaredy cat.
Yeah.
Anyway. The point I was making is those two bits, especially because they're very early in the game.
Yeah.
In a sense of like, you are still learning on how the xenomorph acts, in a sense. Like, you're still learning like the cues of like, when is it in the vents? When is it about to come down? Is it hiding in a vent? Is it waiting to pounce on you? Is it just being a dick and just standing in one location, blocking you from progress? You are still learning these things. And with especially like, sometimes the xenomorph can be an absolute pain in the ass by just basically backing forth round the bit you are at, and it's like, just go. You've been here 7 times now. I'm clearly not here. And so I can understand why people get frustrated a bit, but like, once you get over those bits, once you get to once you get to the flamethrower, once you get past the first time, once you get to the point where once you get past the whole medical bit, so you get through the bomb triggers.
Yeah.
After that, should have collected enough stuff to be able to actually have stuff to deal with the xenomorph. You should have at least enough stuff to build a Molotov, unless you're playing on Nightmare. In which case, you deserve. You've been asking for this. You bullshit.
Are just a glutton for punishment.
You are asking for the bullshit the game is throwing at you.
Yeah.
And so it's at that, once you get to that point, you have the tools to actually deal with the xenomorph if it shows up in front of you. And it's all a case of like trying to be like very cautious and very careful. And I don't think when the game came out, a lot of reviewers for like the magazines and that really understood what a survival horror, in the sense of the monster is unkillable.
Yeah.
What that curtailed. And so they looked upon it. They were basically going, "Oh yeah, this is this will be Resident Evil with aliens."
Yeah.
And it's not.
No.
It's like, no, you do not. If you are fighting the xenomorph, something has gone very wrong.
Yeah. Anyway, we are going to end it there because we've gone on a little bit too much there.
So we were gushing about Alien Isolation because it deserves to be gushed about.
I do hope you enjoyed this chat, and we will catch you in the next one. Goodbye.
Toodles.